and real life. So anything specific you want to do today?
Really, we could just go back to the curriculum for some of the other topics. I don't have anything as specific as last week, so.
Alright, so we've done angling and side scraping and terrain usage, so well, terrain usage and hull down kind of in one.
Yeah.
So easiest ones of that, well, our simplest ones to do would be Brawling and circling. So
Sure.
any preference on that?
Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to do them both, so whichever you prefer.
Okay, well, let's start with Brawling then, because I happen to have the ice tree selected.
And I can grab one of those. I'll remember how to work with controls.
So let's meet in the middle, somewhere near the fountain. Brawling is one of those things that is a bit tricky to go beyond the basics, because it's gonna depend so much on which tank you are in and which tank the enemy is in. And that's only considering the tanks and not considering the tactical situation actually that's in the battles, because sometimes you have all the time you need and it's gonna be 1-on-1, sometimes you need to finish off something quickly and the enemy doesn't want to brawl or you don't want to brawl, and so many things into consideration. So maybe what we can just start off is face hacking and giant hacking, and then move on from that.
Yep.
I gotta remember to delete that Jimbo's 6th sense thingy. I hate that. Still working with the mods a little bit. So when you're face hacking with ice 3 against ice 3, it's a little bit tricky, because when you're like this, there's not much you can penetrate, because you can only aim at the turret. So there's actually not really much of here that you can penetrate. You can penetrate the turret front if you get really lucky, but you actually do need to get lucky for that.
Yep.
Then there's a small chance that you will be able to shoot below the gun mantle, because if I put my gun up like this, like you were before, if you aim all the way below, you can see that you can actually shoot the bottom of the gun mantle, and it could bounce down from that. But that's not something I never actually tested, because I never got in that situation in a battle where I would have to do this.
Yeah.
So it's more of who needs to actually finish this quicker, because whoever needs to finish this quicker, then it's you need to reverse back, preferably at an angle, so you can shoot the upper plate in the right angle. And also when you turn at the same time, when you reverse, it makes it harder for the enemy to keep up. And when you're reloading, or you don't want the enemy to get a shot and you don't need to get a shot, then it's just push forward and don't let the enemy get away.
Yeah.
Side scraping is a little bit trickier, especially if you're side hacking, sorry, not side scraping. It's a little bit trickier, especially if you're like this, where you're pointing different ways, because depending if you go forward or backwards, you're gonna go at different speeds, so you cannot keep to the enemy's side constantly. And what usually is the best thing to do here is try to get on the back side of the enemy, a little bit like this, and if the turret is lagging behind, or they have locked it front towards the front or something, you can get a shot at the side of the turret, and that's actually quite an easy penetration from this distance.
Yep.
The other one is if you get just a little bit distance and aim at the back, you can shoot the engine deck. Meanwhile, what you want for the enemy to do is only be able to shoot your turret front.
Yep.
So you try to keep at this kind of angle, which is considerably easier if you actually point in the same way, because then you can keep up the same speed, but then it becomes harder to take the shot as well. So that's the theory, really.
Yep.
Not much else to do than practice, so let's start with face hacking, and we'll start with on one. 3, 2, 1.
I saw Acid use that trick before. So hard to get a shot on the coupler.
Yeah, it is.
And it only seems to work on the left side of your turret. The right one's just too angle.
As you can see, it takes quite a long time when you're face hacking, so I mean, the only times that I did really damage was when I got out of the face hacking, so because as you said, when you are face hacking, the only thing you can shoot is one of the cupolas, the other one you can't even, still it's so really hard to do that, so it's more waiting for the enemy to shoot, and then when he's reloading, try to get away and take a shot. But it's one of those situations you don't want to get into, really, because so much can be decided by RNG. I'm not saying that it's always RNG that decides those, but there's an element there, as always, but so let's go for more side hacking situation, because that's actually interesting.
It was just that bit where you reversed up onto the rubble in the last calendar lesson. I think it was Acid. Acid Rules did the same thing and managed to get penetrations on me.
Yeah, that's actually something that you can use more easily even on other maps that are not completely flat, because you don't need a big slope, just a little bump or depression on the ground, and you can get a shot on the enemy. So, as I said, it depends on so many things, these brawling situations. But it's so hard to do that in a training room, actually train for those little bumps and depressions, because well, when you know it, when the other one knows it beforehand, he either has to let you do it, or then well, he can just easily prevent you from doing it. A little bit stupid to train something like that. So let's just start something like this. Doesn't need to be completely side by side, but yeah, well, start on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Oops.
Ah, shit. That didn't go where it was supposed to.
Oops, needed that.
Good one.
It's just remembering to give the server a chance to catch up with your aim.
Yeah. I guess we can try something a little bit more complicated, because you seem to do well in that, actually. Should I pick down the map? No, I don't know how this will work, but let's test this out. Let's meet on the hill.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go on the between the 8 and 9 line.
Oh, okay. I'll come in.
So actually what I want you to do is just behind that, and I'll be here, and I want you to well, rush me and try to kill me. Just start whenever you're ready. I'll pick another map because that takes too long to get on that hill, but something that has a little bit more uneven terrain. So we'll meet in D6. Well, C6, C7 actually.
Yep.
But yeah, you know how it usually goes with if there happens to be heavies here and not that much
Mm-hmm.
TDs camping or mediums. It doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you get the heavy push around the corner, so
Yep.
that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, whenever you're ready, you just come and kill me.
Quite good to reload on that one. Yeah, that my counting's off.